Hello everyone, welcome back. We've got lots for you today. One of the jobs I'm going to do at some point today is this arch that I repaired last week. I'm going to take that former down, and assuming the building doesn't collapse, I'm going to then be able to get into this end of the building and recover some of those tiles which I want to use around the back on that roof. So that's going to happen today. I've been searching around and I found some more cardboard, so there's going to be some work in the potager to do. Susie is in a happy place. She's doing some gardening and weeding and that sort of thing, tidying up, so she's happy. Yeah, lots to do, so we better get on with it. Well, before we get started, I thought I'd give the grass a quick cut. I've done the walled garden, I've done the rosemary bud garden. If you remember, about 2 weeks ago now, I gave it its first cut of the year, and I had to do it on quite a high setting because it was just too thick and wet for the lawnmower to take. So I tried to get it on the lowest setting today, and I still couldn't because it has actually grown in that 2 weeks. So I've got to give it a third cut, but I'm going to let it dry now, and then I should be able to get it on its lowest setting. And then it's just an ongoing process. So yeah, early Feb, and it's had 2 cuts, and it's yeah, it's grown quite a bit.
Back out in the garden again. There's plenty of weeding out here to do, and I need to rake all these leaves off. They're off of the horse chestnut tree and the vine, but I'm going to keep those in a bin so they mulch down. I can put them on the potager. So let's get going.
All my mountains and my seas, all I need from you to me. All my mountains and my seas, all I need from you to me. All my mountains and my seas, all I need from you to me. All my mountains and my seas, all I need from you to me.
So back to what I did yesterday. I'm going to put some stones along the edge here, and I've asked Rolls if he can do a concrete sort of platform there in front of the step, and then I'm going to do a bit along here today, this afternoon.
Why can't you see me on my knees for you, baby? I'm falling down, and I need you to catch me. All my mountains and my seas, all I need from you to me. All my mountains and my seas.
Okay, so this has had 3.5, 4 days now since it was finished, so the mortar's lightened up as it's dried. I'm quite happy to take it down now. The only problem I've got is I really wedged this in, so I'm slightly concerned that I've got to force it out. But anyway, we're going to go for it, and if the building collapses, so be it. Okay, well that came out easy enough. And it hasn't collapsed. I've got to get these off. There's a little bit of mortar gone onto them, but they shouldn't really be stuck too much. So a little bit of a tidy up underneath. I'll do that in a second. I've got to clean the mortar off where I've just gone over the edges here, but I was waiting until it was all set to do that. So effectively, that hasn't moved. Okay, well I've tidied up the mortar underneath. There was a little bit just there, but that's fine. A little bit of filling in places. It's only where I couldn't see it when I was setting the bricks. So we now have access to this.
Train ride just to see you, ride for hours just to please you. You don't know how much I need you, 'cause you're my home away from home, away from home, away from being alone. Run away from home, why don't you? 'Cause I did the same just for you. You don't know how much I love you, 'cause you're my home away from home, away from home, away from being alone.
I found a reliable source for cardboard, so that was lucky. I just had enough for this bed, and it's a local store, and they said, yeah, anytime you want any cardboard, just come and get it. So shouldn't be a problem to do all of them now. So I need to go to the barn and get this mulch and get it on top.
time again. They're trying to tell us. Nice bit of kindling wood here. Do you want to stick, Max? Good boy. No, you'd rather have your dinner, wouldn't you?
Okay, should we go and have a look? Okay, so we come into a little lobby area. It's about I don't know, a metre, just over a metre wide. And then either side of it, there are two rooms. And there's a hay feeder there, so this was obviously for livestock. Let me get in here. It's a smallish area, but it's adequate, for, I suppose, for keeping animals safe overnight, or in the worst of the weather, they'd bring them in here. It would probably be a donkey or something like that. Certainly not enough room in here for a horse. And then on the opposite side, another room, probably similar size. And here's all my tiles. A few there. There's some metal work along the back wall. It's probably going to get a little bit dark in here. There's only one source of light, and that's this little window here. So if it gets a bit dark, apologies. There are a couple of gaps in the roof above. This is an interesting little feature down here. I'll show it to you from the lobby area. So basically what this is, it's a way of getting food to the animals. So they're often associated with pigs, actually, little pigsties, piggeries as they're called. And the idea being, you have this flap here, you shove that there, put the food in, and then bring it back, and at no point can the pigs get your hands. So you end up, you don't end up losing your fingers. So there's a little feature, and there's one on this side as well, although this flap's not on here. So yeah, so that's how it used to work. So pig farmers used to have all their fingers. And then that, and then presumably, yeah, that locks the bolt down, so it can't, and so the pigs would be kept in there overnight, I guess. Yeah. So I've just measured this little room, and it's about 2 meters wide, which is about about 6 foot, 6.5 foot, by 3 meters, which is about 9.5 feet. So it's a little area. It's not really, it's not a lot you can do with it other than put animals in here. But I guess we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 4 of these areas, rooms split by walls, etc. And then we've got a 5th one which has a wall halfway through with a door either side, so it's split into 2. We've never really had any thoughts on what to do with this building. It was just, it came with the property, we liked it, it's a lovely looking building, but what we could do with it, we weren't sure. And I think, I suppose with a bit of creativity, you could knock a few of these walls down or knock through and create a quirky little gîte, something like that. Or the other thing could possibly do is have a couple of glamping tents or glamping pods in the walled garden, and then convert this end into an outdoor kitchen, washroom, that sort of thing. The main sewage is just the other side on the road there outside, so you could link to the main sewage. But it's a big expense to convert this into some sort of quirky accommodation. And we've got other priorities, but yeah, be an interesting thing to think about later. But right now, I think Susie's probably interested in donkeys and chickens and that sort of thing. So I suspect they'll end up in here. Chickens next door, but I think we've shown you the chickens where they used to have chickens here. And obviously this hay feeder, we can put some new spindles in here. And this would be ideal to house a donkey. The plan was to have the donkey over the road in the meadow because there's a big shelter there. But of course the roof collapsed on that, so there's a fair bit of work involved in sorting that out. But anyway, food for thought. So that's where we just came out of. So there's 2 rooms down that end. Then in here is where we're proposing to put the chickens, and there's evidence that there was chickens there before. There was some sort of other animals in here, I don't know what though, so they're connected, those 2. And then we have this one which is split into 2, and there's a door in either side of the building. And then we come to this section here, which is the actual bread oven, and then this is the building that houses the entrance to the bread oven. And so yeah, it's a nice pretty building, and we were quite attracted to it when we first viewed the house, but as I said, no specific plans to what we could do. I'll just take you into this section. It's again going to be a bit dark in here, but there was obviously some animals in here. Maybe rabbits or something, I'm not sure. There's a trap down there, which I presume to catch any rats. And apologies, I know viewers who've been with us a long time have been in here before. And then go through there, next door, is where they have the chickens. And we assume these are, so you could stick your hand through there and collect the eggs from the chickens. But it's all in a bit of a state. But this is probably where we're going to put our chickens next door there. So, yeah. I'll just show you. There is some chicken wire there. But so you can see in there, that's where they had chickens in the past. around. I don't have to bring them all around in one hit. I've not worked out how many I'm going to need, but I've got plenty. So I'll just carry on bringing them around, and then at some point this week I'll get started on that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It should be a really nice looking roof actually, rather than this horrible old cement board stuff. Before we go, I'd like to thank Anita and a lady who wants to remain anonymous, but I do know who you are, so thank you ever so much for the coffees. And once again, thanks to all of you, the patrons, the viewers, past subscribers and new subscribers. Thank you ever so much. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could just press that button. It's completely free. There's no commitment on your part. It's simply just so YouTube get to know which channels are more successful than others. It's part of all their algorithms, and the more subscribers, the more they recommend us. So if you aren't a subscriber, thank you, and we shall see you next time. Bye.